Hello class, today we're going to start with a new class. In this case, as you can read in the title, we are going to focus on a review of the second partial. So please pay attention and take notes of important information in case you need it. Okay, let's start with this review. Our objective for today is going to be apply the knowledge acquired during the partial. So we are going to use our schemata knowledge and we are going to remember some important details of the most relevant topics of these partials. Let's start with the first one, that is facts and opinions. Do you remember what is that? Okay, let's see what is this. As you can see, a facts are statements that can be proven. What does it mean? That we have information or we have scientific research that support that fact. That means that we can prove, we can show evidence about our fact. Okay, facts may be true or false. As you can see in the first example, Canada is in Europe. Do you think it's a true fact or is false? Okay, if you thought that is false and you remember that Canada is in America or North America, that means that you are right. So Canada is not in Europe. Okay, is in Okay, as you can see, Canada is not in Europe, okay? Europe is in America, is in North America. That means facts may be true or false, okay? And when we talk about facts, we will keep in mind that we refer the majority of the time in historical facts or scientific facts, okay? Another important characteristic of a fact is that a fact doesn't change, or facts do not change. What does it mean? If it is true, it's true. But we are not going to say the opposite because they don't change. Remember that the facts are proven, okay? And also we have the last characteristics that are non-fiction. That means this is real. And we have more examples. Dogs are bigger than cats, if you can see. We have research that prove that exactly some special dogs, but this is the difference, okay? There is a short difference in this case. Honduras is located in Central America. What does it mean? That, as you can see, we can look for a map and we can prove that Honduras is located in this continent, in this area of America, okay? And we're going to move to the opinions. We can say that opinions are almost the opposite because, okay, as you can see in the first characteristic is that are statements that cannot be proven. Okay, opinions is what we say about something, but maybe we don't have arguments to support our opinion. So that means it cannot be proved. At least we start developing a research, but this is another case, okay? And it can be argued. Okay, we have an example. Okay, we're going to move to the Coca-Cola soft drinks. We're going to focus on Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Maybe one person loves Coca-Cola, but the other person doesn't like Coca-Cola. Okay, they will have different opinions, okay? So that means an opinion can be argued and you start giving you different points or different opinions about why it's better to drink Coca-Cola or Pepsi. But remember that Coca-Cola and Pepsi is not good for our health. And that is why that is a fact, okay? That is scientific, as you can prove. Okay, it may be supported with facts. Okay, as I told you before, we have the opinions. but we can support our opinions. We can research in order to have better arguments to argue about what we say, okay, to support what we say, okay. And not everyone agrees. As I told you before, maybe one person likes Coca-Cola but the other prefers Pepsi. So this person uh, doesn't agree with Pepsi or Coca-Cola, okay? That means this point. And also can change, okay? Or maybe we have an opinion about that Coca-Cola is the best doing, but one day you stop saying that. You change your mind and you decided to drink natural, juices, natural drinks, for example, apple, for example, orange drinks and so on, okay? And that means your opinion changed about the Coca-Cola, okay? The opinions can be fiction or non-fiction. Okay, as you remember in facts, the facts are non-fiction, okay, are real. But in this case, our opinions can be focused on fiction or non-fiction stories. We can fiction stories or non-fiction. Okay, we're going to focus on history or maybe facts that are happening right now, or something news, for example. Okay, we have different example. Okay, as you can see, golf is boring. We have an example here in which maybe one person thinks that golf is boring, but the other person love um, love golf. Okay, loves golf. Pizza is delicious, but maybe you prefer a hamburger. Okay, or maybe you prefer to go to have a sandwich in another place and it's better for you. Remember that's this is an opinion, okay? Math is the hardest subject. Maybe the majority of you agree with this comment, but maybe one person thinks that math is the best subject and is his or her favorite class or subject. Okay, so these are the difference between facts and opinion. Okay, let's continue with other topic, that is the author purpose. Okay, remember we need to keep in mind that the author purpose we divided in three different ones. Okay, in three different of them. Okay, the first one, we have the first author purpose, that is persuade. The second one, that is to inform, and the last one, that is to entertain. So do you remember what are the difference between them? Yes or not? Okay, let's find out the answer right now. Okay, as we review in our last class, the author, well, when we read a text and the author, okay, and the author purpose is informed, okay, first of all, we are going to find information about a topic, okay? The author is providing us information about an interesting topic. For example, the average American eats 6 slices of pie each year. Pie has been around since the ancient Egyptians. As you can see in this example, okay, we are reading information about a pie, okay, and the history of the pie, for example. And we have other examples that are books in which they provide information about different topics. For example, frogs, how does a seed grow, or plains, or oceans and seas, okay? So, and we move to the other purpose, that is persuade. Okay, in this case, the author tries to get you to do something or believe what he is saying. Okay, keep in mind that when the author purpose is persuade, that means the author will try to convince you to think as he thinks, or to believe what he believes, or to stop doing something because it's bad. And the author provides many information about that, and he convince you to stop doing or to continue doing something. Okay, we have an example here in which this is an advertisement of a fast food. Okay, it says, "This pie is so delicious. You will want to go buy one right now. Pies are on sale today for $3.99. What a great price! Eating pie is good for you. Eat some today." Okay, as you can see, this is an advertisement that is trying to convince you to buy a pie, to eat a pie, to prefer a pie instead of other kind of foods. Okay, also we have other examples about advertisement that are trying to persuade you. Okay, remember, keep in mind. And we have the last purpose, that is entertain. Okay, in this case, we are going to find this kind of purpose when we read stories, for example, short stories or fiction stories. And what is the purpose of this? What is the author purpose? Well, the author tells us a story that we will enjoy. In other words, we are going to read for pleasure, okay? Because we want to read. The author purpose is to entertain us. Okay, for example, one day I was picking blackberries for a pie and a big hairy bird snuck up behind me. Little Jack Harney sat in a corner eating his Christmas pie. These are short stories, no fiction stories, and we have more examples as you can see in the pictures. Okay, let's continue. Author, author's purpose is easy as a pie. If you can see, if we combine the three letters of the author purpose, persuade, inform, and entertain, we will create a word that is pie. Okay, and it's easy to remember that. Okay, it's as easy as a pie. Okay, remember, persuade, the author is trying to get you to do, to believe, or to do something. When the author is informing, the author is giving you information about a topic, and entertain, the author is trying to hold your attention, often by telling you a story. Okay, don't forget that as a pie, author purpose is easy as a pie. Okay, let's move to the other topic, that is drawing conclusion and generalizations. Okay, do you remember what is this topic about? Okay, let's continue. If you have the answer, we will see if you have it correctly, okay? First of all, we're going to focus on drawing conclusions. Remember, when we read a story, maybe a fiction, a story about the three little pigs, we read this story, okay? We already have an idea about what is the story is about, okay? We have information about the pigs and how how they live. But when we read the story, we have more information, okay? We start reading and we start discovering many important information, okay, about it. And then at the end, we start creating our own conclusions about the story. In this case, as you can see, when we draw a conclusion, we are going to use what we already know to figure out what people will do or say. Okay, at the end, we can create our own conclusion about the story. Okay, we generate our own conclusion. Okay, but to draw that conclusion, first of all, we need to keep in mind this important information. As you can see in the other part of the slide, we can find different different steps that we can follow to create our own conclusion. First of all, what did I read in the text? We need to focus on that. We need to focus on the information that we got from the text. And then What do I already know about this topic? Okay, in this case, we are going to use our previous knowledge. What I know about pigs, how they live, where they live. Okay, this is our schema knowledge, or this is our previous knowledge about the story. This is our knowledge about these pigs. Okay, and then we generate our own conclusion, or we create, or we make our conclusion. Okay, let's continue with generalizations. Okay, as you can read, are statements about a group that is true for most of that group. Okay, and we have some characteristic of this topic. Okay, or this or generalizations. Okay, first of all, it's a kind of conclusion. What does it mean then? It's similar to the conclusion, but we will find what is the difference between them. Okay, the generalizations must be supported by facts or examples. Okay, remember to include examples. When we create a generalization, we need to include examples. And also, if we have facts, it's much better because we will enrich our generalization about the story. Okay, the generalizations also helps help us comprehend an author's writing. Okay, through the generalization, we can identify what is the purpose of the author. Okay, okay, and the and the last one, the last characteristic of this topic is that we look for keywords. For example, mass, overall, generally, all, none, every, etc. We have keywords that we need to identify, and we will discover, or we will identify that is a generalization. Okay, so let's see some differences between the conclusions and generalization. As you can see, we have similarities and also we have differences. Okay, a conclusion is a reasonable guess about ideas that are not stated in the text. Okay, as you can see, are ideas that the text do not include. And what about generalizations? The generalization is a conclusion that is true most of the time, but not always, okay? The one important thing we need to keep in mind is that generalizations are true most of the time, okay? When we draw conclusions, we use what you read, plus what you already know. That is your schema, your knowledge, okay? And that is equal that the decision you come the decision you come to when you put these two together. So, okay, when we put our knowledge and the story, okay, and the knowledge that we got from the story. Okay, what about the generalizations? Okay, when we want to create a generalization, we also use what you read and what you already know. And then at the end, we create a general statement about something, okay? This is more general and the conclusion are more specifics, okay? And in the part below, we have how to create conclusion and generalizations. As you can see, the process is similar. What you read and what you already know. That is the schema that will generate or will create the conclusions or generalizations of the topic. Let's continue with another topics that are text features. Okay, it's really important that we need that keep in mind that when we read a text, we will find these text features, but this text feature will help us, first of all, to save time, to find things as really easy, to get extra information. And as you can see here, we have some characteristics of the text features, or this is how they help us. Okay, first it shows us information. Okay, through the text features, we can give us extra information about something, or give us information in order to find it easy. Then it will help us to tell us information. This will include more information, maybe through maps, through graphics, and so on. And also the text feature help us find information. As you can see, or if you use your books when you want to find a topic and a specific topics, we go to the table of content and we start looking the topic, we see the page and then we move directly to the page without wasting time. Okay, and the last characteristics is that we use the text feature to organize information in a best way. As in the table of contents, the information is organized, and also we have glossaries that are really organized. We have in alphabetical order. Okay, let's start with the first text feature. Okay, do you remember what are the text features that we can find in a text or that we can find in a book? Do you remember them? How many of them can you remember? Okay, let's see the answer. First of all, we have maps. Okay, the maps are really easy to identify in a text, and we will find this map in geography books or texts, or in social studies book. We have many maps, or in some stories that have that represents different countries or different places, and in order to locate better the place, we have the maps. Okay, and the maps, remember that keep in mind that our visual image of a geography feature often accompanied by a key or distance scale. Okay, we have the maps. Okay, that are, remember, that are visual. Well, then we have the index. This is an alphabetical list of important subjects in the text that is located in the back of a book. Okay, remember, keep in mind two things in the index. Okay, most important topics of the text, and also we located in the back of the book. Just keep in mind that. Okay, then we have charts and graph. Okay, the charts and graph will help us to organize the information in a better way. Okay, in a visual representation. Okay, and it's going to be easier to understand them. Okay, let's continue with the table of content. Okay, as I told you before, the table of content will help us to find a specific topic in an easy way. Okay, okay. So, or as you can see, it's a list of a book section found in the front of the front to let the reader know what is contained in the book. Okay, this is a list of all the topics that we will find, but in an organized way. Okay, page by page. Okay, then we have the captions and labels that are single words, short phrases, sentences, or paragraphs that accompany illustrations, photographs, or diagrams. As you can see, we have a picture of a car, but also we have a short text below the picture. These are the caption and labels. This will help us to explain the picture or to understand better the picture. Okay, so let's continue with timelines. So, well, we need to focus on one important fact. Okay, the timelines are chronological. That means it it will follow a chronological order, year by year. For example, we start in 1914 and we finish in 2014, but we will follow an order, okay, chronological order. And as you can read, is information that expands upon the text and is placed in a chronological order. Then we will find the types of print. Okay, listen, in this case, are the different ways to make words stand out in the text. Okay. When we read a text, we will find bold words. For example, there is a border around each state. And as you can see, we have the border that is in bold words, okay? And also we will find words that are in capitals. For example, at the beginning of the text or at the beginning of a sentence, we always place the word in capital. Okay, or we can find words that are in capital, completely in capital. Okay, well, we have colors. We can find words that are in black color, in red color, in blue color, in order to know, or in order to identify those words, because are important. Okay, we have different types of letter, for example, italic, Times New Roman, and others. Okay, underline words or underline phrases that are important information, or highlight words. Okay, that will help us to identify or to know that this part is important. And the last one is the glossary. Okay, we have, well, almost the last one. This is the glossary. Remember, that is a list of words and their definition located at the end of the text. Maybe we will find different texts that don't have a glossary, but others we will find it. And remember, the glossary is a list of words with its own definition. Okay, every word will have its own definition. Okay, we have the word, then the definition, and maybe we can find an example of the word. Okay, and the last one are the graphic features, for example, photos or drawings. In this one, we can include the maps, the charts, and others. Okay, we use the graphic features to add details, stand for ideas in the text. As you can see in the picture, we have a drawing, and also we have a map. And are common in books for children. We will find different drawings of the story, and these drawings will help us to understand easy story. Okay, we have a visual representation of what we are reading, and we have the maps that this is used in social studies. Thank you so much. Remember, if you have any question as to your teacher, try to do your best in every assignment. And thank you for watching us, and see you the next week. Have a blessed and wonderful day.